One, two, three. Almost social.
मैं था, मैं हूँ और मैं ही रहूँगा।
Hello, welcome to Cinema Chand's Almost Social podcast. The following episode is an eulogy, a tribute, and a gracious thank you to the most honest actor of our time, Irfan Khan. Cinema won't be the same without him, and neither will our lives.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Almost Social podcast. I'm Swapnil. I have Sharang and Karthik with me. Uh, Last week has been pretty tragic for cinema all across the world. We lost two icons, that is Irfan Khan and Rishi Kapoor. So this episode is going to be a very special one to us, and we want to dedicate it to one of the most prolific actors of our generation, of our time. I think I would like to start off this podcast with my favorite moment of Irfan Khan on screen. I think I would. I think the best moment for me for Irfan Khan, probably not the best one that, but one that's very close to my heart is the one in Heather. So to give you all a bit of context, in Heather was I saw Heather around that time in my life where I was just uh, being introduced to cinema as an art form. Is that I hadn't really thought of cinema like this before, and I watched Heather, and I was completely blown away. And I realized, and I remember thinking, oh, cinema could be this. It could be an intellectual expression like this. And I think I remember Irfan Khan comes just before interval in Heather, where Shraddha Kapoor is going somewhere, and he's kind of is there, and he's kind of stalking her, but not really, and he's trying to pass on message to Shahid Kapoor rather, and the first line that he says, कि Shraddha Kapoor asks him, "Are you a doctor?" and says, "I'm not a doctor, मैं doctor की रूह हूँ." And that was the moment I realized the brilliance of Irfan Khan. Ki, oh my God, here is an actor, here is a man who's just saying one line, and it's so amazing that you can't help but be captivated by that man. You can't help but be sucked in by that performance. That was very powerful. His role was not a substantial role in that movie. He comes in a very small bit, but I think as far as small bits go, that was an incredible performance. So, Sharang and Karthik, what were your favorite moments of Irfan Khan on screen?
My favorite, if not favorite, the one that pops into my head the moment you ask me this question is his performance in The Lunchbox. The specific moment is when he's standing by the window in his house and smoking a cigarette, looking out of that window. I think, and it's silent for what it's worth. It's a very quiet shot. He isn't speaking anything. He isn't doing anything. He's just standing by the window and smoking a cigarette. And I don't know, but uh, I don't know what it is about that particular shot that it popped into my head the first, and it has left such a deep impression in my mind. But that is the Irfan Khan shot or the Irfan Khan moment that is perhaps closest to my heart. What about you, Shah?
Um, I think it has to be the climax scene in The Life of Pi, where he talks about eventually it's all about letting go, but the greater moments in our life, we can't even bid goodbye to them. I think that one dialogue uh, really got me hooked onto Irfan as an actor. Obviously, my introduction to Irfan Khan was the Vodafone ads that he used to do back in 2007, 2008. But I think that Life of Pi moment really uh, defined in my head as to what Irfan Khan can do and what he is.
Speaking of how he was introduced to you, was that the first time that you noticed Irfan Khan as an actor, the Vodafone ads?
So So that's an interest. There's an interesting story. I think this was 2007-8, sometime during the IPL, if I'm not wrong. And Irfan Khan is obviously not, or was not, a conventional choice for a lot of advertisers, because advertisers would want pretty looking girls or macho looking guys on screen. And इरफान खान ऐसे ही बस आता था, अपनी लाइन बोल के निकल जाता था. And as a kid, I think you are conditioned to just see people who are very pretty looking. And when you suddenly see a guy who looks very average and him being in an ad, oh, you are not able to process that fact. And that's why I always used to look at him on screen और मैं बोलता था कि क्या किसको लाके खड़ा किया है यहाँ पे. And my dad used to enjoy watching Irfan Khan in ads for some damn reason. And मैं मैं बोलता था पापा को कि आपको क्यों अच्छा लगता है. अरे इसमें ना वो कुछ तो है, मतलब वो कुछ तो अलग करता है, वो वैसा बाकी एक्टर जैसा नहीं. ही हैज समथिंग अबाउट हिम. बोला मतलब आई थिंक माय डैड हैज गॉन क्रेजी. एंड मतलब सडनली इज लाइकिंग सम एक्टर दैट ही हैज सीन इन वन एड एंड ही थिंक्स ही इज गोइंग टू मेक इट बिग. माय डैड हैज डेफिनेटली लॉस्ट इट. But turns out the entire world is now uh, sending their wishes to Irfan Khan's family. So I'm a
And
little
so the next
surprised.
time your father is impressed by an actor, make sure that you take a note of it.
Absolutely,
He
absolutely,
might turn out to be a great one.
absolutely.
What about you, Swapnil? What was the first? I mean, you talked about the character in Heather, which has left the deepest impression. But which was the movie that you first saw Irfan Khan in, that you recognized, oh, this is Irfan Khan, oh, he's an actor, and of that, and it's something of that on those lines.
I think the earliest memory I have of Irfan Khan is not at all ads or movies. There was a show he used to do, Mano Ya Na Mano. And the other day I was reminded about it, and I was like, oh fuck yeah, he used to do Mano Ya Na Mano. And that show was such, to me it was macabre. And like I had such fascination with that show. It was like almost a morbid obsession with that show, and I was, it was something very very different. And when I saw him sort of present all that, I that is that I remember that very fondly. Mano ya na mano. Watching Irfan Khan and then that entire show. Yeah,
That
I
is
think
peculiar because I don't know how many people of our generation will have watched his work in television, because that is how he got his start. I have never watched his work in television, so I don't know how good, bad, or whatever he was, because I haven't watched it.
Mano ya
true.
na mano is
Anyway,
But
the first time that I noticed Irfan Khan, as an actor was, I don't know if I'm confused between two. So the one that I'm 100% sure about is An, Men at Work. That movie, I know for sure that was the first time I knew, oh, this is an actor by the name of Irfan Khan and he knows how to act. But the one that I'm not sure about, but I know that I feel that that is the first time that I watched him on screen, was a movie with Imran Hashmi titled The Killer. I think it's The Killer. Now, this is a movie that is a ripoff of Michael Mann's Collateral, which is the American version that stars Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise. So, Jamie Foxx's character is played by Imran Hashmi in India, and Tom Cruise's character is played by Irfan Khan. So, at 10 o'clock at night, I watched this movie called The Killer, where Imran Hashmi is a cab driver, Irfan Khan is the passenger, and he tells Imran Hashmi that I'll give you a lot of money, just drive me around the town. And turns out that Irfan Khan is a hitman who is sent out to kill a lot of people, and then Imran Hashmi gets involved in all of it. Obviously, I don't have to say that it was a bad movie. Collateral is a really good movie, but The Killer was not that good a movie. But I think that was the first Irfan Khan performance that I saw. But An Men at Work is something that I was absolutely impressed by, and I still am. I still believe Irfan Khan's work in An is a really really good
uh,
performance.
Irfan Khan's Yusuf Pathan is far better than the Yusuf Pathan we know. So, no, actually,
why do you think, like, why were you captive? What do you think is so special about Irfan Khan that you were captivated to him on screen? Like, what does he do that makes him so special, that makes him stand out from everyone else?
आई थिंक इज ऑनेस्टी यार. आई थिंक बहुत सच्चाई अगर एक एक्टर में अगर किसी में दिखती है तो मेरे ख्याल से वो इरफान खान है. एटलीस्ट ही इज वन ऑफ दोज एक्टर्स हु really embodies honesty as a value. And I think that's about it. It's honesty. And because he has seen the world from a very different perspective altogether as compared to the bigger stars that we have, I think you kind of understand that he's able to play most characters to perfection because he has seen people from different walks of life. And I think that's very important for an actor to gather very vast and varied experiences. So I think that really comes across when he does any role for that matter.
Just to add on to what Sharang said, I mean, honesty was going to be my first point as well. I think, like I wrote somewhere, that he is the most, he so sadly was the most honest actor in the past 20 years of Indian cinema, for sure, hands down. There can be no, I mean, I won't be involved in any debate on that. The other two things that I found extremely captivating about him were, first, I'm going to quote Tigmanshu Dhulia here. Someone asked Mr. Dhulia that what was the thing that about Irfan Khan that caught your eye, and he said very simply, very fact, as a matter of factly, it was Irfan Khan's eyes, and I think that's what caught my eye as well. That there's something. I mean, even when he's just staring, like the shot that I mentioned in the beginning in Lunchbox, his eyes emote so much that, I mean, you don't necessarily need dialogues for situations like that. He just does it with his face, with his posture, with his entire being. And that is the other thing which I absolutely find fascinating about him, is you can't really spot the actor when he's acting. I mean, even in India, Nasruddin Shah, when he's acting, you can spot that he's acting. It doesn't make the work or the experience uh, lesser or less powerful or something like that. But with Irfan Khan, you never saw that hard work. He just dissolved into the role, and that's why I think a lot of people even say कि मतलब he plays the same guy in every movie. A lot of people find it difficult to acknowledge his acting because it doesn't feel like he's acting. He's just there on screen, like he belongs there. There's no question about him not being there. He's just there, and we accept it and we move on. And that's, I think, one of the most difficult things to do when you're an actor is to not get noticed while acting. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I think that is one of the most difficult things to pull off as an actor. So the two things that I mentioned were his eyes and his, uh, I don't know what to call it, but his embodiment of characters. I'll say those.
With respect to his expressions, I think Makbul is a fantastic example of how he has
Oh my
used
god,
his
brilliant.
expressions throughout the film. Because if you have noticed in Makbul, Irfan Khan does not talk a lot. He's supposed to be this character who's very reserved and
Exactly.
shy in a way. So I think in Makbul he does that perfectly well.
I think Makbul is his like best performance for me at least. And the third thing that I was actually going to talk about, but I didn't, was the fact that in movies he doesn't really speak a lot. So what does he do is his pauses, and his pauses are extremely exceptional. That I've never seen anybody do pauses that well. I think that's why I really love the Lunchbox shot as well. I keep coming back to it because it's a pause. It's essentially a pause, and to act out a pause, you really have to be the character, because to observe, I mean, just think about it. How do we look like when we are not doing anything? We don't know. I mean, we can't really act. I don't think we'll be able to act ourselves while being in a pause. And imagine doing that as someone else that you probably don't have never really met, or it's completely imaginary.
I think I agree with you on the last point of the pause, and the absolute embodiment of that character to such an extent that there is no difference between the character and the actor. Like, as a human, you cannot draw a line, and I agree with you. In fact, I don't think he has been himself. Like Irfan, I don't think Irfan Khan plays himself in all his movies. There was this interview we did with Anupama Chopra, and he said that he had a discussion with certain with a director, and he said when you see Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan singing a sad song, it is not that Nusrat Ali Khan is actually feeling sadness in that moment, is that that sadness is inside Nusrat, and he just knows how to project that sadness onto his song, and create an experience to the listener of that feeling of sadness. And Irfan Khan understood this so well in his acting. I think that's why I think Irfan Khan is probably the greatest actor of our generation that we will probably ever get to see. The third thing that I really feel extraordinary about Irfan Khan that makes him Irfan Khan, I think, is uh, his commitment towards his craft of acting and not caring about anything else at all. In the sense that Irfan Khan was a man who chose his own path, who would walk down his own path. He would not worry about convention. He would not worry about legacy. He would not worry about stardom. He just knew that he wanted to act, and his dedication to acting was was so so on point that nothing else mattered to him. Irfan Khan did not, how do I say it? How do I say it? He was not a conventional person, and he accepted the unconventionality with so much poise, with so much dignity, and he was so self assured in himself that this is really something that is very close to me and that I will follow no matter what because this is my passion. That I think that conviction within himself, uh, I'm a huge fan of. I think that makes Irfan Khan who he is, and that translates and makes Irfan Khan performances so powerful and so hard hitting.
Let's get into how his career in movies has been very radical in ways that other careers have not been. So I feel he started off on a pretty side actor note. I mean, he had a villain role in Hasil, but he was a very, I won't say a complete villain because until the first half of Hasil, he's a friend to Jimmy Shergill's character. So that set a precedent for the future Irfan Khan roles as a possible side villain or a side actor, but never really the center of things. But Maqbool happened. So there were two strands of Irfan Khan's career running parallel to each other. So there is one side which is a completely artistic, completely craft driven and serious film side to Irfan Khan's career. That was Maqbool. Then came The Namesake. Then he was in Saath Khoon Maaf. He gave a I mean, I'm told that he gave a really good performance in Life in a Metro, but I haven't watched that movie, so I can't really talk about it. Then came Lunchbox. Until Lunchbox, I think these two lines were going very parallel to each other. They hadn't merged. So while he was doing these serious kind of movies, he was also starring in Rohit Shetty's Sunday. He was also starring in Anis Bazmi's Thank You. He was in Priyadarshan's Billu. So both these career pathways were going parallel to each other. I mean, there was no clashes in between. After Lunchbox, with Piku, I think both those merged because Piku was the first, I think, commercially successful as well as craft-driven movie that Irfan Khan was a part of, which made a lot of money, and I believe it was also a very kind of a serious film, one can say. And that is the third side of Irfan Khan, the guy who's like a modern middle class man. That character, he was started being getting pushed into that zone at least until Angrezi Medium because he's played only those kind of characters after Piku, except Talwar obviously. But even Talwar is again the part of that path of his acting, which is more artistic and more crafted. So to summarize, I think there have been like three very distinct strands of pathways that he has walked. One is the art and craft driven, which started with Hazel. For me, it peaked in Maqbool, then came Lunchbox, then there was The Namesake. The second line, the second path that he was walking was the commercial minded cinema that started with Aan, then there was Thank You, Life in a Metro, Sunday, Billu, all those movies. And the third path, which he settled in the early 2010s with 2013, 14, 15 was with Piku, Angrezi Medium, Karib Karib Single, and all these movies. So I think so. What do you guys think about these three different not versions but uh, career pathways that Irfan Khan had? This is my theory, by the way. I don't know how true it is. I think you guys will validate and evaluate it.
I think one common thread that I see uh, in these three sections that you spoke about is that his willingness to do a comedy film, and I think which is a very underrated aspect of Irfan Khan's acting, that is comic timing is brilliant for some reason, and
And
we
very
all
rare. It's unique as well.
it's
It's
unique,
not.
it's
It's not
absolutely it's original.
similar to other comic actors.
Yeah, it's very original, and I remember Karthik, you telling me that how you liked him in Thank You as well. I mean, it's very strange that one of his better performances has been in Thank You, because वो बहुत मतलब उसमें कुछ character, and there is no meat for the character at all. मतलब obviously being an Anis Mazmi film, you can't you can't really write.
There is no need for the movie in the first place, so let's not
Fair,
go to the
fair.
character.
But I mean, कॉमिक टाइमिंग उसका बहुत ही अच्छा है यार, और बहुत ही ओरिजिनल है, और वो मेरे ख्याल से हमेशा पैरेलली चलता रहा है. दैट्स आई थिंक वन कॉमन थ्रेड दैट आई कैन विटनेस.
I think you missed out a couple of important movies in that this thing also. When like talking about his career, because like Pan Singh Tomar was also a very important part of his journey. I believe like it comes right. I think before Lunchbox and
It
after
was 2012. I think it was parallel to Lunchbox.
yeah. Oh, just by the way, I think Pan Singh Tomar is a better film than like I couldn't help draw parallels, but it might not be, but like it's a far better film than Bhag Milka Bhag could even aspire to be. But that's a different topic for a different podcast.
Yeah, but
Uh,
they're different movies too.
movies
But
of
I think Pan Singh Tomar was 2012, Lunchbox was 2013.
13.
Anyway, go ahead.
So like
Yeah,
I think I agree with the third, like the third this thing of UK. He was like a definitive voice in Bollywood by that time who would sort of marry an artistic aspect with the like who would make the artistic aspect commercially viable. Like a lot of his roles have been like on a very gray spectrum between like a purely artistic role and a purely commercial role. Like Lunchbox again did very well. Pan Singh Tomar did exceptionally well at I think box office comparative to what they made the movie in.
yeah, but I still feel Pan Singh Tomar as a movie is more has more to do with the art and craft side of an actor than it has to do with commercial. So again, coming back to the, I'll let you complete the point. I mean, coming back to the my theory, still I think Pan Singh Thomas still belongs to that strand of his career which is more artistic than commercial. So and so go ahead.
Possibly. But like that movie is not an art movie. Mean, I think I think one more where probably I would disagree with you is that uh, he has been consistently redefining what entertainment is throughout his career. I think it would be uh, only apt to say that commercial and artistic terms for him, I don't think they mattered as much to him. Like he understood that cinema needs to entertain before anything else, and that art, while great, cannot be at the expense of entertainment. So I think he understood that pretty well, which is why he was a very, very successful actor as well, and that was very prominent. That focus featured very prominently in the third, as you said, third phase of his career.
Yeah, this
Especially,
brings me to my next point. Are you done? I mean, I don't want to
yeah,
force.
I mean, yeah.
And no, this brings me to my this brings me to my third point, which I feel that if Irfan Khan had not been there, Ayushmann Khurrana would not have had a career. Rajkumar Rao would not have had a career, and all those other actors which are right now flourishing in movies that a lot of people call small town movies. I mean, movies like Bareli Ki Barfi or Stree or movies of those kind, where the entire focus has been shifted from larger than life to smaller, more regional, more not rural but more ruralized, if I may say, more not urban, if I may say so. So that particular transition, I don't think would have been possible without Irfan Khan. Like, because as you rightly said, he married both the commercial and artistic aspects of acting, and it was supported even. And I think he came at a point where these distinctions were becoming less and less obvious. So I personally will never call Vishal Bhardwaj's movies as as art house cinema, because they have like a very commercial side to them. And
Talking,
anyway, what is art house and commercial? Okay, go ahead, Shah.
I mean, just talking about the commercial aspect of Vishal Bharadwaj's films and how Irfan Khan married these two aspects. I remember this instance from college where Heather was screening in the college auditorium, and our auditorium can have about 250 to 300 people, and it's a packed house. The ACs are off, the ACs are not working, and everybody is pissed off as to how the organization is of the or how this event has been organized. And 30-40 minutes into the film, people have started suddenly they are chatting on their phones, and just before the intermission, रूदार की एंट्री होती है and people go nuts, they go bonkers.
Absolutely.
And that's one moment that I remember very clearly because I felt good कि हाँ यार, मतलब ऐसे एक्टर के लिए अगर 250 लोग सडनली अपने फोन्स को बाजू में रख के अगर ताली बजा सकते हैं तो our audiences are very flexible. I think if you feed them the right kind of content and with the right kind of spirit and the right people, I think people will buy it and people will applaud performances and people irrespective of where they come from. And Irfan Khan, I think, was the first actor for whom I saw uh, people go bonkers.
Yeah, he definitely was the first actor. So think about this: you are coming into the new decade in 2000s, right? So the entire cinema picture is very different because TV is now extremely prominent because it's privatized and it's going to be the next big thing. Plus, internet is arriving at the same time. So the audience is getting more and more diversified, and the places through which they can uh, get content is increasing. So at this point in time, I think even in the space of directors, producers, and the kind of movies that were being made, everything was becoming more and more gray in terms of art house and commercial. So like Vishal Bhardwaj is one of those people, Anurag Kashyap is the second guy, Sriram Raghavan is the third guy, Deepa Mehta is the fourth person. But even Deepa Mehta is still kind of an art house, but still, I mean, John Abraham
Towards
acted in
art
one of her
house, yeah.
movies. So these gaps were being bridged in the entire decade in 2000s, and now we can see the results in the second decade of 2000s, where from after 2010s, films like Talwar, films like Piku, films like Badlapur, films like I mean, the most recent popular one was the Ayushmann Khurrana Sriram Raghavan movie, which I don't remember the name.
Andhadhun.
Andhadhun. So I think that is a very classic example where craft and commercial met. But Irfan Khan as an actor was played I believe an extremely prominent role in this shift from not this shift but in bridging these two different worlds of cinema together with that entire community of filmmakers, and Irfan Khan was the face of it. I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
I completely agree with you. In fact, I would even go on to say कि Sanjay Mishra, when he gets a leading role today, I think it's also because of the conviction that Irfan Khan has given to audience and movie makers alike, producers specifically, कि if you put out good films, as Sarang said, if you put out the right kind of things, you are going to make money and you are going to entertain people. You're also making art, and that you don't have to be mindless when you go about it. I think I think you are completely spot on in that aspect that Ayushmann Khurrana and Rajkumar Rao and a whole host of these young guys, they owe a lot to Irfan Khan, as Irfan Khan owed, I think, a lot to Nasiruddin Shah before him, probably.
But even I wouldn't go because I mean I'm not saying that Nasaruddin Shah is not a great actor and all those things, but in terms of quality, obviously they're going to look up to people like Nasaruddin Shah, Om Puri, Smita Patel, Shabana Hussain, that host of the 70s and 80s crop of actors. But in that space between 70s and 80s and then coming to 2000s, there was at least a gap of 10 years when there was no quote unquote art actor that was coming up. I mean, 90s were filled with people ranging from Amir Khan, Shah Rukh Khan to Govinda and Chunky Pandey. So that the whole range of this whole range of actors were coming up in 2000s. And to make a space for yourself where you can practice your craft to the most honest level, at the same time make sure that the film makes enough money so that you can make more movies of such kind. Irfan Khan was, I think, the only actor who could do that successfully. I mean, I don't know if there were other actors who tried, but I know for a fact that because it's a fact that Irfan Khan definitely succeeded the most in doing that, and I believe it must have been the most difficult thing to do because Irfan Khan and Shah Rukh Khan kind of belong to the same age group, not age group, but same generation of actors. And look where Shah Rukh Khan is, and look where Irfan Khan is. They competed in the same space for the same kind of audience in more or less the same era. I mean, there's a 10-year difference, but the 10-year difference is especially because Irfan Khan was a craft actor and Shah Rukh Khan was a commercial actor. But still, Irfan Khan could make space for himself in a world that is filled with stars. He is a Khan, and he obviously stands above all the other Khans, like you, Swapnil, rightly said.
And with that, we come to sort of the conclusion of this very special episode, which is very close to our heart. Our dedication to Irfan Khan. One thing that we'd like to add here is that before doing this podcast, we were a bit skeptical about doing it because uh, his death is very fresh on our minds, and I think it will be some time before we all of us have closure uh, about his passing away, and we didn't want to come across as insensitive uh, mooches who sort of want to talk about Irfan Khan to have their 2 minutes in the spotlight. If anything, I think I think I'd like to share a personal story here. Is that when we started, when the discussion came to start this podcast for the second season, I was very skeptical about starting this podcast, and I conveyed my doubts to both Sarang and Karthik, and I told them ki, look, I'm not very sure because I think my love for cinema is not uh, I don't think I'm as passionate about cinema as I was before. And I might not be the right guy, qualified guy to talk about cinema anymore. Not that any of us has any qualification to make any authoritative remarks about cinema, and that we want you all to sort of know that none of us will ever make any authoritative statement about any film that we have watched. And that is especially true when talking about an actor that is so close to our hearts. We don't want you all to think, we don't want ourselves primarily to think that uh,
we don't want we don't want ourselves first to think that we are using his death to profit us in any way, to profit, so that in hopes that, oh, since he has passed away, let's just use this opportunity to get more views, to get any of those things. Not that they'll work in the first place, but we don't have that motive, and we feel that we don't want to be guilty of it. We don't want to feel that, and we just think that in uh, we just wanted to share this with you because we don't want you to feel that either. We are not doing this because we want to, because we are using his death for our own selfish
Mhm,
purposes.
mhm,
The
got
reason
it.
why we never talked about Irfan Khan before was that so much has been said about him, and we felt that we didn't really have anything new to offer because much better minds have applied much better bands have been applied at decoding his artistic work, his craft, and his entire influence on movies. And who are we to, add anything new to that? But now that he is no more, we have ran out of excuses to not talk about it. So we decided that no matter what, let's just do it so that we feel better, so that it will help us to move on and find some hope that there will be a better actor in the future, or someone who will carry forward his work, carry forward his legacy, and do what he has done so far and make things better. So over to you, sir.
I think I agree with Karthik on that. Is that I think all of us will wholeheartedly agree with Karthik on that. Both Sharang and I. Uh, we is that more than anything, this podcast, this discussion on him, about him, is to find some closure for ourselves. Is to sort of when someone very close to you passes away. And Irfan Khan was very close to all of us because we care about cinema a lot, deep down in our hearts. And what happens in and around cinema bothers us. It has some effect on us. I think this is just our way of dealing with dealing with that loss. And it's call it catharsis, uh, call it whatever you want, but just running down the memory lane, uh, talking about what he meant to us, uh, felt very felt very nice. And that, again, I would like to say that we'd like to celebrate his life and not mourn his life, because this is not a loss, as Sutapa Sikdar has said, as his wife has said. Uh, this is not a loss. We want to look back at his life and cherish his existence and thank whatever powers there are, that he was there, that he could give so much to us, and that there is a life full of celebration instead of mourning and tragedy.